Hello viewers, we're taking you through the story of O-level mathematics. And this video, we are going to go through the expected response for Senior 3 end of term 2 for the year 2024. So this video is suitable for students right from Senior 1 up to Senior 4. So this is what we hope to upload during this holiday. What is ticked means is already available on the platform, and what is not yet ticked means will be uploaded with time. So this paper contains two sections. Section A is compulsory and section B is for choosing. But because this is revision, we shall attempt all the items. So let's start with item 1. Item 1 says, your aunt is planning to enroll you in a boarding school for your O-level education. She has a budget of shillings 5 million for your school expenses. To visit the school, she decides to take a boda. Okay. The boda travels 3 kilometers west from your home to the main road, then 4 kilometers south to reach the school. However, you later realize there is a shortcut path that leads directly from your home to the school. Upon reaching the school, your aunt learns that the school fees are shillings 5 million, then boarding fees are shillings 1.5 million, and the cost of school supplies is shillings 500,000. Fortunately, the school offers a scholarship program. Students with excellent primary leaving exam results receive 50% discount on a school fees, shillings 200,000 reduction on boarding fees, and shillings 150,000 voucher for school supplies. You are eligible for the scholarship based on your outstanding performance. Then task A, determine the distance from your home to the school using the direct path. Task B, Roman 1, considering the scholarship, calculate the total amount your aunt will pay for your school expenses. Task B, Roman 2, can your aunt afford the school expenses based on her budget? So just start with task 1. Task 1, we shall need to make a rough sketch. From the home, you go west 3 kilometers. Then when you reach 3 kilometers, you now move south 4 kilometers to reach the school. The direct path is by drawing a straight line from home to school. They want this distance, so it be x. The good thing, this is a right-angled triangle. So I can either use Pythagoras theory or bearing by drawing on a graph paper. Let's choose the simplest, Pythagoras theory. So x will be square root of 3 squared plus 4 squared to give you 5 kilometers. And that's what they wanted. Then task B, Roman 1 says, considering the scholarship, calculate the total amount your aunt will pay for your school expenses. So first of all, there was a 50% reduction on school fees. So school fees paid will be 50% of 3 million, which will become 1.5 M. Then amount paid for boarding, there was a reduction by 200,000 shillings. So it will now become 1.3 million. Then amount paid for school supplies, there was a voucher of 150,000. So subtract it off, you come up with 300,000. Therefore, total amount paid will be got by adding these ones. So when you add, you'll come up with 3.15 million. So task B, Roman 2, can your aunt afford the school expenses? So the reason is that she can afford. So she can afford, and the reason is that she already has shillings 5 million, yet the total expenses are 3.15. That was task item 1. Then item 2. Item 2 says, your parents are intending to expand their cattle farm in order to increase the family income. Okay. Their neighbor has accepted to sell part of his land to them. However, he is not so sure of the exact boundaries of his land, and he has been advised to apply for a land search at the district land board. Okay. According to the district land surveyor, his land is represented by the following inequalities, which are these ones. Your parents have agreed to buy the land after establishing the clear boundaries. An access road is to be constructed on the land through the points this. Hint is that 2 centimeters represent 5 units on the vertical scale, while 2 centimeters represent 10 units on the horizontal scale. So task, as a student of mathematics, part A, help the landowner to establish the clear boundaries of the land. Then task B, Roman 1, illustrate the road on the land through the given points. Task B, Roman 2, find the equation of the road in B, Roman 1 above. So now we are going to, so this question is about inequalities, or what we call linear programming. So we shall need to make an interpretation. First, we shall need a column of regions which has inequalities, then borderlines and coordinates to plot. So region, this is the inequality which was given the first one. So borderline means remove the inequality and replace with an equal sign. Now this is what you are going to show on your graph paper. Then coordinates, you choose any two because a straight line, as long as you get 2 points, you are good to go. So when x is 0, it means that 2y will be equal to 50. Therefore, y will now be equal to 25. When y is 0, the whole of this is 0, meaning that x is equal to 50. That's why you get 50, 0. The next inequality was that borderline means remove this inequality, put an equal sign. Then here still, when x is 0, y will be 40. Similarly, when y is 0, x will be 40. Then y less or equal to 15, do the same. Borderline, you replace the inequality with an equal sign. Then x greater than 0 or equal to 0, replace the inequality sign, and that becomes the y-axis. Then y greater than or equal to 0, remove this, put an equal sign, and that becomes the x-axis. So now that we have got the coordinates, we can now plot the lines. So we shall need the axes, horizontal and vertical. Then we shall put the scale for the horizontal, where 1 centimeter represents 10 units. Then do the same for the vertical, where 2 centimeters represent 10 units for the horizontal, and 2 centimeters represent 5 units for the vertical. I think that was given. So let's first see the question. Do you see this hint? here they said 2 centimeters represents 5 units on the vertical, while 2 centimeters represent 10 units on the horizontal. Okay, so now it's time to plot. Plotting, let's begin with this one. 0, 25 and 50, 0. Then you draw a straight line through the points. Then you label the line. Then you also need to shade. So the inequality, how do you get it? Choose a point here, 0, 0. When I put 0, 0, I'll get the whole of this will be 0. So 0 is less or equal to 50. Is it true? It is true, meaning where I got this point is the wanted region, and the unwanted is this opposite side. So that's what we shall shade. Okay, then we go to the next. Next was 40, 0, 0, 40. So 0, 40 is that, and 40, 0 is this. Then we draw a line. And label it. Then you also test. Replace 0, 0 here. It means 0 is less or equal to 40, which is true. So this side is the wanted region, and this other side is the unwanted. So shade that. Then we go to y less or equal to 15. Y equal to 15 means it's a horizontal line through 15. Okay, so y less or equal to 15 means less is what they want. The one greater should be shaded. Then next is y equal to 0, which is the y-axis. And they said they want positive values, so negative values are shaded. Same applies to x-axis, negative values are shaded. So we have got our piece of land. We need an access road, a road which will take us to the farm. So they told us it has coordinates. So we are told it has coordinates 0, 20 and 65. So 0, 20 is here, that is point A. Point B is 65, which is there. Then we join. So that will be the road, and this is the point of access to the farm. Okay, so let's see the task. So we have done task A, where we have established the clear boundaries of the land. Then now task B Roman 1 says, illustrate the road on the land through the given points. We've done that. Then B Roman 2, find the equation of the road in B Roman 1 above. Now the good thing, we already have the coordinates. So that the scores now shall go to B. So using the two coordinates given, I can get the equation of a line by introducing a third point, xy, variable point. So using xy with this, I'll come up with this gradient, and using these two given points, I'll come up with this gradient. Remember, gradient is change in y over change in x. So simplify, this minus this is negative 15, this minus that is 60. Cross multiply, okay, I reduce the fraction, then I cross multiply. This with this gives you that, and this with this gives you this. Then rearrange to get the equation of the line needed, and that's what they wanted. Then section B has 2 items, and we are supposed to attempt 1. So item 3 says, in a school survey, 250 students were asked about their internet usage habits. They were asked to choose from the 3 activities. social media like Facebook and TikTok, academic work such as research and homework, and playing games. Okay, the results showed that 65 students use internet for social media, 130 use it for academic work, 100 use it for playing games. Okay, among them 70 students use it for both social media and academic work only. Do you see this trick? Only. 60 use it for both social media and playing games. 50 use it for both playing games and academic work. Additionally, no students use the internet for playing games only. Now the school needs to decide whether to set rules if more than 60% of the students spend their internet time on social media. So task A, calculate how many students use the internet for at least 2 of these activities. Task B, determine how many students don't use internet at all. Task C, estimate the percentage of students who use the internet only for academic work. Task D, based on the findings, advise the school on whether to implement rules or not. So this is under set theory with 3 items. So we shall draw 3 circles and enclose them with a rectangle. Then they told us that 250 students in total, then 165 used internet for social media, 130 is for academic work, and 100 is for playing games. So you'll come and fill. Total there are 250 students, then 165 was for social media, 130 for academic work, and 100 for playing games. Then they said "70 use the internet for both S and A only." Okay, 60 is S and P, and 50 is P and A. So shall come. So first of all, you need to identify, put an unknown here, because they didn't talk anything about it. Then 70 is for this only. 60 is for the whole of this, that's why you say 60 minus x. And 50 is for the whole of this, that's why you say 50 minus x. Then we go back and see. So I've gone up here, now the slide. Additionally, no student uses the internet for playing games only. So games only, that is P only, there will be a 0 here. They shall now fill the empty spaces with unknowns, and we need to get them. So NP, the whole of this, will be equal to 100, which is that. So that means that we can easily get the x. So get x, it will be 10. Okay, after getting x, we can now redraw our Venn diagram. Put the x, replace what is already known. This is known. This is known, this is known, this is known. So this is 10, this is 70. Then this one will now be 60 minus 10 to give you 50. 50 minus 10 to give you 40. This is 0, it's already known. Then this one, you add, the whole of this is 130. So the balance from this will be 130. 165 minus 130 to give you 35. Then the whole of this is what? This is 80, 120, so the balance is 10. Then the whole of this is 60, 100. So to give you 0, that is true. Then what is outside means you add the whole of it. The whole of this is 165 plus 10 plus 40, which is that. So the balance will be 35. So task A, let's see task A. Task A says, calculate how many students use internet for at least 2 of these activities. At least means that or more. So 2 or more is what they want. 2 or more is the whole of this. The whole of that. Okay, so that. When you add all of them, you come up with 160 students. And that's what they wanted for task A. Then task B says, determine how many students don't use the internet at all. So these are the number of students who don't use the internet at all. So it's supposed to be 2 scores. So I'm going 1 score for this. Then the second one will now be for stating. So when you come here and state, it means that's when you get the second score. Then task C. Task C, estimate the percentage of students who use internet only for academic work. So A only is what they want. A only is here 10. So I come and say 10 over 250 times 100 to give you 4%. Then task D says, based on your findings, advise the school on whether to implement rules or not. The rule was that now the school needs to decide whether to set rules if more than 60% of students spend their time on social media. So percentage of social media shall come and say what they want is this. 165 of this total times 100 over this total times 100. So it is 66%, which is bigger than 60. Therefore, the school should implement the rules. And that's what they wanted. Then item 4 says, a group of students has just arrived at Entebbe International Airport in Uganda for a safari adventure. They are interested in reaching the source of the Nile in Jinja. Okay. The touring company is expected to take approximately 3 hours if there is no traffic. driving at a constant average speed of 130 kilometers per hour for the whole journey. Each liter of fuel costs shillings UGX of 4,900, and the car van used consumes 1 liter per 10 kilometers. Below are the directions right from Entebbe to Jinja. From Entebbe Airport, travel north for 35 kilometers to reach Kampala, the capital city. Then from Kampala, head east for 25 kilometers to reach Mukono. While at Mukono, the guide was alerted by a friend coming from Jinja to change the route and use the Kayunga road due to an accident in Mabira. The driver changed the route at Mukono and went in the northeast direction to Kayunga, approximately 45 kilometers away. From Kayunga, they headed to Jinja on a bearing of 130 degrees, which took them 1 hour and 30 minutes as they enjoyed the scenery along the roadside. Then task A, describe the direction from Entebbe to Jinja. So yeah, there's supposed to be 2 to Jinja. Then task B, how long did the journey from Entebbe to Kampala take? Task C, how much fuel and money would they have saved if there was no accident in Mabira? Task D, how much extra time did they spend on the road due to the deter? I don't know if this is a spelling. Deter, I wanted to mean delay. Deter. Hope I don't know if there's spelling. And what recommendations would you make to avoid such delays in the future? So task A, scale drawing, we need to first make a sketch, then you can draw the accurate one. So distance from Kayunga to Jinja wasn't given, but the good thing they gave us the speed and the time, so we can get the distance. So now that we know all the distances, we can now first make a sketch. So sketch diagram, we begin from Entebbe. Then we move north 35 kilometers to reach Kampala. Then from Kampala, we now head east to reach Mukono after 25 kilometers. From there, now we go to Kayunga. Kayunga, which is 45 kilometers after northeast. From there, we now go to Jinja, 45 kilometers and a bearing of 130 degrees. So now before we get an accurate diagram, we need a scale for a diagram. So let, you see this word let, it means that the scale was not given. Sometimes they may give the scale, but other times if they don't, you need to get your own scale. So let 1 centimeter represent 5 kilometers. So I'll now convert. So 35 will now be represented by 7 centimeters. 25 will now be represented by 5 centimeters. And 45 by 9 centimeters. Okay, so we can now go and draw our accurate diagram. So accurate diagram is drawn on a graph paper strictly. So bearings must be drawn on a graph paper, and we must use a protractor. Some of you are funny. You use compasses to draw the compass direction, the 90 degrees. It is not okay at all. Actually, they must be denied. So make sure you only use a graph paper and a protractor. So we say this from Entebbe to Kampala to be represented by 7 centimeters. So use a ruler to measure the 7 centimeters to reach there. But also, if the graph is accurate, these boxes represent centimeters. But use a ruler to reach Kampala. Then from there, you go to 5 centimeters to reach Mukono. Then from Mukono, you go 9 centimeters to reach Kayunga, whereby this degree angle is 45. Then from there also 9 centimeters to reach Jinja, and that angle bearing will be 130. So the bearings are measured by a protractor and lengths by a ruler. Okay, so basically that was a diagram. That was task A. Let's go ahead and see. They said, how long did the journey from Entebbe to Kampala take? How long is time? So you know the average speed and you also know the distance. So from Entebbe to Kampala, time was distance over speed. So distance was this, and speed is 30, average speed is 30, so it gives you 1 hour and a sixth. So you can convert to minutes also. A sixth is 10 minutes. So there is scores. We shall now go to task C. Task C says, how much fuel and money would they have saved if there was no accident in Mabira? Now, if there was no accident, it means they would have moved. When they reached here, instead of going through this, they would have used this. So the fuel used is about this excess distance moved here by taking that route. So what I'm going to do, I already know this distance, so I can calculate for the fuel used, but I need to know this distance. So if I get the extra distance traveled, I can get the extra fuel used. So I'll get a ruler and measure this distance. It will be in centimeters, then I convert it and I'll use the scale. I'll use the scale to get the distance it represents in kilometers. So considering the journey from Mukono to Jinja, distance traveled using Kayunga route is that. What about distance traveled using direct route? It will be 13.3 centimeters. Then you change it to kilometers using the scale. Then the extra distance will be got by subtraction. And the amount used in that extra distance, we shall remember this, 1 liter used for every this, and it costs that. So quantity of fuel saved is 2.35 liters. And the amount saved will be these liters saved times the price for each liter to give you that. That was task C. Then task D, how much extra time did they spend on the road due to the detour, and what recommendations would you make to avoid such delays in future? The good thing, we know the average speed, so we can easily get the time. So extra time will be extra distance over speed to give you 4.7 minutes. And that's what they wanted. So that brings us to the end of this video. Thank you for watching, and be reminded the next video will be on Senior 4 Mock 2024. So if you haven't yet subscribed, please click on the subscribe button below this video so you can receive updates when the next video has been uploaded. And also, if you know of any student who's not yet on this platform, please share the link of this video with them via social media platforms like Facebook and WhatsApp, so that one will benefit us, your family.